All right, so I'm going to bring in what we did the last time. All right, so let me just go to my file manager. I think I should have it under downloads. This should be it, right? So you can just drag and drop. Okay, there are so many ways to take up stuff into Figma. All right, so you can just drag and drop. And you can see the size over here. All right, so this is the width 220 2033 pixels. So it's measured in pixels. I think the last time, okay, sorry, sometimes I'm working on a course, so sometimes I think what I thought, keeping the course with the things I was telling you. Now, if you look at the screen very well, if you're using your system, you can see some lines. Even on Figma, or maybe when you're going to go through these videos, this particular video, you just have to practicalize alongside myself. Okay, you're going to see some lines. These are um, like pigtails. Okay, so if I say this is, can you see how this is blurry? That's because, I have zoomed out, zoomed it out very well. Okay. So you can see that it's pixelated. It's pixelated. You can see the pixels here. So these dots containing about a few pixels. All right. So if I said this image is 2033 pixels, that is the width. That means from here, from this point to this point, has you count 2033 pixels. So maybe we'll talk about that later, but just for you to understand. Okay, pixels is just like it's like a unit for measurement as well. Okay, so we use it in design. You can use centimeter. You know what centimeter is. You have used your centimeter rule before in school or college. You know what meter is. You might have used meter rule before too, and then kilometers and all of that. So these are just ways of measurement as well. So this is like a unit as well. So pixels like a unit. So we have 1022 pixels in height. So that means the width of this particular image I just dropped. I think it was what's her name? Christabel that you know uh cropped it like this. Okay. So the width currently is more than the height. So just know what pixels are. It's just a unit of measurement for measurement. All right. So now we created wireframe the last time, and we did paper wireframe. So now what we're going to do now for a paper wireframe is, like I've told you, it's very cheap. It's easy to to do and all of that. So a digital wireframe is what we're going to do, and then we talked about prototype. Okay, we talked about prototype. I would have sent you the link to this particular file so that you collaborate with me. But we are going to do that subsequently. All right. So we'll collaborate together. So I can tell you to move things. We don't even need to see each other. All right. So we can be on Google Meets. Sometimes it can be WhatsApp call, and then I can tell you this is what I'm. You will be seeing what I'll be doing. I'll be seeing you how you're moving around in Figma as well. So we can collaborate here together. Okay. I hope you're still following me. I believe so. All right. So in order not to waste time, if you can see my battery, you can see that it's already getting low. All right, it's weakened already because I've been using it so well. Sometimes I'll plug it and be using it, which is not really advisable. But sometimes you can so get lost in design that you don't even remember that your battery is going down. So I just plug it, and then sometimes that affects it. So now, how do you get the frame? I've told you already. So you come down here. If you click this drop down, you're going to see frame. You're going to see section. So let's first of all talk about do with frame. So frame, you can see the frames available here. Desktop has has reviewed. If you click the drop down around it, it will bring up all the screens that are already stored here in Figma. All right, you can create your own frame. Okay, for example, like as I've clicked this frame, I can just draw a frame however I want it, and you can actually customize it to the actual frame that you're looking for. Okay, but I want to use a frame for iPhone, so you can come here, iPhone 16 Pro Max. If you click it, you can see that this is a frame for iPhone 16 Pro Max. So now, for what we did the last time, I told you how to create images when you are doing wireframe. So for example, if this is what I want to create, maybe I want to create this particular first screen, okay, and as a wireframe, first of all, okay, you can double click the name and just rename it to login or something, okay. Now, if I want to do this, I want to do a wireframe for this first whatever is here. A wireframe is like a skeleton, you understand? So now I'll just get a shape, draw it, and by now I believe you should understand what's a the difference between a normal shape and a frame. All right. So this is a normal shape. All right. This is a normal shape. So this is what I have, as you know. Okay, I need to make this black. So you can just click this fill here. This is for stroke, and the line is, like a stroke. You can just drag it to where the black is. You can duplicate and then tilt, or you can click it again and draw from this edge as well to this particular edge. So if you want to make sure that it's at the edge as you are dragging it, I told you that it will be snapping to where it's supposed to be. All right, you can see that this is not very aligned. All right, so okay, I think we can leave it like this. This is also not black. So black, I think black 000 1 2 3 4 5 6. All right, so now I'm going to highlight everything. All right, so there's to highlight everything with your select tool or your pick to selector, you can just draw a line across whatever you want to highlight and Control G to group it. So you can call this what you've grouped here. You can call this. Now I've collapsed this Figma. That's why you're seeing it like this. So if you want to review, you can see what's there. So if I come to my files by the left hand side, if I come to my files, you can see my layers here. So you have the login, you have WhatsApp image because I downloaded this from WhatsApp. You have text. Okay, this text is somewhere. Let me see where it is. Okay. I can't really see this text, but my layers is showing me that there's actually a text. Yes, a text. This is I think the text should be somewhere. Let me see. Okay, look at where the text is here. Look at where the text is. You see, so it's from my layers. I understand all the elements that are here in this design space. It was hiding somewhere. You can see how far it was. But from my layers, I was able to see that there's a text somewhere here. This is Get Skill Bootcamp 2025. You can see where it is. I think I wrote this during the last class. I want to delete it so that we can focus here. So the last time, if you press H, you can actually move this around. Okay, I think we did that the last time. Okay, if you have not watched the first video, you have to do that. Oh my god. Okay, now you can see this group. You can double click it, and we are going to rename it as you can say sketch image rep. This is just to say that this is representing whatever looks like an image. Okay, so I'm going to move this into this frame. Okay, now as I've moved this into this frame, this is represent, even in the last class, this shouldn't be hard. Okay, this shouldn't be hard. So when we'll be talking about what next, when we're talking about, okay, we won't be talking about components and variants. I've already given a lecture on that. So now you can see that this kind of box is telling whoever is going to make design that this is an image. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a button. Okay, now to create a button, there are a lot of ways to create buttons. Okay, and the best way to create buttons as well, but I'm just going to show you. I think we talked about auto layouts. That was the last class. I think, was it yesterday? The last time we met, we talked about auto layouts. Okay, maybe it was on Friday. We talked about auto layouts, and I told you that we're going to personalize that as well. So the best way what I create buttons is through the use of this auto layout of a thing. But I'm going, since it's a wireframe, when we make the real design, I'm going to create um, that particular type of button. Okay, but for today, now this button, there is okay, what's there's actually a standard way you can do. All right, so now I'm going to use a frame. All right, I think the last class we used the shape. I'm using a frame. Okay, I'm using a frame for this button. And if I want to pick this color, the color I used for this demo image, I can just press I, which is to pick. Just click it, and it has picked it. Okay, it has picked it. So I'm going to use frame for this. So if I add auto layout to this frame, um, it's going to, there's a way it's going to behave. Okay, so this is an auto layout. All right, so this is an auto layout. I'm going to write a text. Press T, or you go to your text tool down here. Press T, and then I'm going to write login. Okay. Now there's a way I can add auto layout. If you add an auto, don't worry, you'll see how it behaves. If I try to explain it, you can see that as it has entered into that long shape, you can see what has happened. The shape, what has happened is the shape. Oh my God, thank God, light is back for me. So hello, are you there with me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let me. Light is back for me, so we can actually. Okay. So what I'm going to do now? I'm just going to go back to where it was Control Z. You know, it's quite simple. Control Z. Let me see. You can see Control Z. I'm just going back. All right. So let me just delete this. So now you can see that what we are creating is this first screen. Okay. So Juliet, and what we are creating is a wireframe. A wireframe is a skeletal. You know, you understand what wireframe is. You should. Okay. So now this thing represents this image. So I'm using something that has already been created so that you understand what we're doing. All right. This thing represents this particular image. So it's the button we are going to create. And I told you that there are different ways to create buttons. Okay. This login button, this is what we're going to create. There are different ways to create button. And also, I have told you that now this button, two of them are buttons, but they're different types of button. So one is a component, and perhaps another is a variant. I don't know whether I understand my point. So a variant is, this is actually different from the main component, but they are still the same family. All right, I don't know whether I understand. Okay, they might be the same or they might not be the same. So it's oh my God, so I see my network is um, okay. Let's see. I have a breaking network there. Oh, wow. I knew it. You're going to lose me for a while. All right, sorry. You lost me for a while, right? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hi. Yes, sir. Yes, I can hear. Okay, so sorry. I can hear you. Okay, my network just went off. My network just went off. So I'm sorry about that. Just had to reconnect back. So that means I need to share my screen back, right? So what I was trying to do was I was trying to show you this particular I was trying to show you this particular button. Okay, you can see that it's pixelated because of, you know, the quality and all of that. So I was trying to show you that this is a button, the second one is also a button, but they are different. All right, so I was saying perhaps the first one is a component, while the second one is a variant. A variant is that this is a second can I say form or type of this. Okay, It's not always that variants and components are similar. It's not always, but most of the times they are similar. All right. So just maybe another version of the same thing. Okay. Maybe you have badges for expert, badges for beginners, badges for this, badges for that. So you begin to see that you create variants for all of them. Maybe each of the badges have different colors and all of that. So I was saying this possibly is a component, while the second one is a variant. So just trying to explain generally what it is. So now to create buttons, I told you there are a couple of ways to do that. Okay, so I said instead of using shape, no, if you come to this shape tool below here, you can pick a rectangle. I think the last Christabel, can you remember the last one we did? The button you did, you just created a rectangular shape, isn't it? You created a rectangular shape and then you wrote this and I just put on it. Okay, because it was a wireframe, there was no much problem to that. Okay, so now I said there are different ways to create buttons and there are actually more professional ways to make buttons. I can just write a text and convert the text, like the text itself. I'll just convert the text to a button. Okay, that's what I do most of the time. But now I want to use a frame. You know the difference between a frame and a shape. So I created a frame. Okay, I created a frame. Now don't forget that creating a button. Okay, I want to change the color to the color of this. You can see that this is frame one. I want to change the color to the color of this image, this demo image here. So I'll just press I. I is I pick color. You click your fill. All right. If you click your fill, so this is what I want to follow. So I have to pick it. So I'll click my fill, and then you can see this eyedropper too. If you click it, you can pick this, or you simply click I. If you just whatever you want to color, you have to select that first and click the eyedropper to press I. Then pick any color you want to change to. Okay. So I now brought this into this other frame, and it was able to enter because frame can also contain frames. I don't know whether you understand. So everything actually in this frame is inside. So if I move this around, you can see that everything is inside. Okay. And see this button is quite small for me. So what you just have to do is just to just to enlarge it from here, all of that. So no matter how you enlarge it, if I now convert it to an auto layout, now an auto layout the auto layer has several settings. All right, so like I've told you, we are getting deeper into it. So auto layers has several settings. So now for the setting, the default setting is for it to hug its content. Okay, hugging its content, you know what hug is. Okay, if I say hug somebody, that means you are going to grab the person, right? All right, depending, yes, hug is to, you have to hold the person. Okay, you know how what hug means. Okay, so there are different settings. Like I've said, you can keep it fixed. Why it is auto layout is going to be fixed, the length will be fixed, the breadth will be fixed, um everything will be fixed. Yes, the height will be fixed. Now but there's a setting that will make it hug the content. So depending on how the content is, if the content is smaller than the frame itself, that means the frame will come small, like it will hug the content according to the shape of that content. So now this is not an auto layout. Okay, so let me demonstrate this. I press T, which is text, and I write login. Okay, this is login, right? So I want to change now for this text panel. I mean this design panel. I will not go one by one telling you everything here because that is going to take a lot of time. So what I'll be doing as we are making designs, because if I begin to say I will do that, this 1 month will not be enough for us. All right. I already told Mr. ID that 1 month, 2 months is enough for me. Okay. 2 months is okay for me. So this month we are going to, as we are designing, I'm going to be explaining this. So if you miss, I've told you already it's a cup of tea and you will drink it alone. So now if you come to the right panel, there are a lot of things here, okay? But if you scroll down, you're going to see typography. I told you what typography is. I will discuss serif fonts and sans serif fonts and all of that. So this is typography. This is place that is typography. This typography is where the text is. I told you typography has to do with text. Now I want to change the size to 14 or maybe 16 or let's say 18 so that it becomes a little bit big. Okay. Now, if I move this into this other shape, Remember already, this thing is already inside this first shape, which means if I move this shape, it's going to move along. Can you see it? It's inside this first shape. Now there's a shape in, I mean, there's a frame. This is a frame, all right. This frame, this shape, I'm calling it a frame. There's another frame inside this frame, which is the things that are inside this frame is, if you come to your layers by the left hand side, by your left hand side here, you're going to see that what is here in these layers is login frame. This thing that looks like hash, this icon that looks like hash is frame. You can see it also on the tool here, on the tool below here. This is frame. You can see that they are telling you that this is a frame. And what you have here on this Figma file, under this layer, because everything you have here, that was how I was able to see that text we had that I didn't create today. But I had created it last time we met, the first time we met. So it was showing me that there was text, but I didn't see it, but I had to look for it, and I discovered that it was somewhere far away. You know, this place is like a city. You can get lost. All right. When you begin to create designs that has no, you designs will be long, screens will be plenty. That's when you know that Figma is big. You know, the entire design canvas is like a marketplace. It's very like a city is wide, okay? Not too wide like that anyway. Okay. Well, it's actually wide. All right. So are you with me? Somebody should respond. Okay. I'll end this class by 5. So I just hope I'm able to finish. Okay. I never thought I would stay till 5. Thank you. All right. So you can see that on the layers, you are seeing login and you are seeing WhatsApp. This WhatsApp image is the one Crystal brought that I downloaded from WhatsApp. So that's why I showed like that. Okay. So this now, if you come to this login, there will be drop down. There's a drop down by the side. If I click the drop down, you can see inside this login, there's login text T. You can see T by the side. That's login text. There is a frame. Even inside this frame, there's another frame. All right. And then there is sketch image rep. And this sketch image rep is a group. You can see the icon of group around it. So if I click the drop down in that group again, you are going to see all the things that are line 1, line 2, and rectangle 1. All of them are inside this group. So you can see how we organize the whole thing and how everything is also organized here. You can collapse them and expand. Okay. So now if I come here, this is already inside the frame, but there's another frame inside. So I can move this and take it inside this login, inside this other frame. You can see that the what's it called? The outline just changed to blue, indicating that it's inside this frame now. All right. So it's inside the frame at the middle, at the very middle. Are you seeing that the frame didn't adjust or do anything? Are you seeing that? But it's still inside. If I move this, you can see that that's housed it now. So, but the frame didn't adjust. That's because I've not added auto layout to it. All right. If I want to adjust this frame, there are a lot of things. You can see as I'm adjusting it, it's not affecting the login. Okay. You can adjust this and adjust this other one singly. All right. Double click. You pick this and adjust this singly. Okay. There are a lot of things I can talk here now, okay? So, but I'm going to be taking them gradually. So my advice for you is that don't miss any live class. I'm not guaranteeing that, I'm not giving you a guarantee that I'll record all the classes. Seriously, I'm not giving you that guarantee. Okay, I'm not giving you that guarantee. All right, you can see that there's no auto layout, so you can see how it behaves. I want to explain auto layout now. But if I come back, let me bring this out. If I bring it out and I apply auto layout to this frame, auto layout, you can right click and add auto layouts. You can see it, if right click, you can see it here. Favor, are you listening to me? You can add auto layout here. That's right click. Yes. Or the shortcut is Shift A. I told you I use shortcut a lot because it saves my time. Shift A. I'll just press Shift A. Now you can see below that auto layout added. It just popped up. Auto layout added. So there's this thing here now has auto layout. If you zoom out, as you can see, if you bring your cursor on it, you can see some dashes by the side and up. All right, these dashes have their implication. They have their implication. It's telling you something. Okay, it's telling you something. Um, we are going to talk about that too. Yes, because you have to just understand everything here. See, some of the things I'm telling you, I think I made a post last time that some of the things I teach, I was not even taught basically when I started learning. Okay, I I began to experience them and then began to search out how these things are, maybe take courses, and then later on, I never got a class that taught me everything step by step like this. Okay, so that's why I believe I know like I know that I have I have the passion to teach, and I have this there's this kind of ability to want to this desire, yes, let me call it desire, actually, to want to dissect whatever I want to pass out to the level where you can assimilate. Now, if you are getting confused in my class, it's maybe because you didn't attend the first class, maybe because you missed out, or maybe just something like that, just something like that. Because I just try my best, to see how you understand. So just pay attention and don't take the opportunity for granted. It's not easy for any of us. So let me just put it that way. Okay. Now auto layout is added already. So if I move this and then if I click it, let me come to the right panel. You can see auto layout here on this right panel. Auto layout is here. You can see the auto layout settings. These settings, there are a lot of things here, and it's very important that you know. Okay, it's telling me the width of this shape. It's telling me the height in pixels, like I've told you already. It's telling me the direction that whatever is going to be dropped inside will take. Okay, and we are going to explain that as well. Okay, now you can see the what's it called here? The padding. You can see the padding here as well. So this padding is what you are seeing here. You are seeing this line. This line actually is telling you that there's auto layer. Now padding, if this padding here, uh, you can see what's there. You can see it. Now we will talk more about that. So let me not confuse your brain, because there are some things if I begin to say now, you'll be getting confused more and more. But I just want to tell you that I've applied auto layout. And look at the setting hog. I think, have I mentioned hog today? Yes, I've mentioned hog today. I've mentioned hog. So look at hog. Say the width. Width is set to hog, height is set to hog. So if I move this login inside now, the width and the height are going to hug this thing. They are going to hug this text together. Let me move it inside and see. You can see that the way it's dropped inside, it's not dropping like that again. You see what's happening? If I drop it, you see everything now has come to hug it. Now, why are there some spaces? Why are there some spaces? As I'm bringing my cursor here, you're going to see that there's a dotted line around the login, and then you can see a space of the shape, of the frame we created around the login. Why are there some spaces? Because that hug is actually for it to hug it tight. It's not small hug, serious hug. It was actually supposed to hug it tight so that you don't even know that there's any um there's any larger shape. But there's actually you can see that there's space. You will know that this is not just login. There's something here, all right, and that's because of the padding you see here. So this padding is telling it that, okay, do not write on this margin. I think we talked about the margin the last time. We talked about the margin. The padding is here. Talked about the margin the last time. Do not write on this margin. So it's telling that give this kind of gap to the edges. Do you understand? Horizontally, give 10 pixels to the edges. Vertically, give 10 pixels to up. I mean, yes, to the up and bottom of this particular shape. So if I say, okay, I want the padding to be longer, I can just drag it. You understand me? Can you see? I'm making my what's it called? I'm making my I'm making my button back. Okay. So you can see that the padding has become long now. So here, there's actually the whole thing that is here is padding. You understand my point? So give this allowance from do you understand how this is why auto layer is very important. You have to pay attention. Okay. So if you don't want to create that, even auto layout, you can also drag auto layout. Okay. So if I begin, you can see, and I can change the position of this login to center. Do you understand my point? Position of this login is to center. So I have just increased the shape. Okay. Let me not confuse you. All right. So we're just creating login. So let me increase this. You can use the padding if you want to, Let me increase this. And then there's another thing that I want us to create. I want to make this a bit big. Now, when we come to grid, we will discuss, what to do. Now, I want this to be at the center. I don't want to drag. You can just come here, position, and position it, align horizontally center. Let's go to the center. Now, you can see that this shape has a sharp edge here. You can see the edge is sharp. But if you look at this button, the sharp, I mean, the edge is not sharp, it's round. So for you to make this round, just click it, and then I'm going to come down to appearance. This radius, I'm going to make it, let's say 12. All right. So as I've made it 12, you can see what's happening, what has happened to it. And you see it has become, I think this should be 8. That is 8, but yours can be 12 anyway. That should be 8. Let me see. So it's 8 right now. Okay, yeah. So you can see that login has become this. So I'm going to duplicate this, bring down. How did I duplicate it? Just hold your Alt, click it and hold your Alt and drag. So it will duplicate it. So the other button is, what is it called? The other button is register. All right. And the button doesn't have a color. All right. Register. Okay. The button didn't have a color. So I'm going to click this auto layout. It has a shape. I mean, it has a fill. This is a fill. This is a color. All right. So I'm going to hide it. Hide. All right. So it doesn't have the shape. So I'm going to add a stroke. If you add a stroke is like a line. All right. You can see that the stroke has been added. So I'm going to give you assignment too. So you better watch. So now we have something here as text. You can ignore it or maybe use get a shape. Just drag a shape. Something to just indicate that there's supposed to be something here. Okay, I think it's at the center now, or confirm it by hitting that. So you can see this is the first screen here. Okay, this is the first screen here. So we have this as the first screen, which is, this is actually a wireframe. Okay, so I want to create another wireframe, which is the second screen. Here. So we are going to be fast. I told you I'm going to finish by 5. So in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to see how I can rush that. Okay. So we are done with this image. There's no image here. All right. There's no image here. So there's no image right now here. So what we have is text. We have a button, back button. You can, add that. I'll show you how to get icons as well. If there's any question, just drop it in the chat session right now. You can just be dropping your questions there. When I'm done, I'll check it out. All right. So now welcome back. You have a text. Then you have input field. Okay. You have input field, your password, and all of that. So you can, for text, you don't necessarily need to write whatever is there. Okay. So you can just duplicate this. Okay, and take it up. You can just duplicate this and take it up. I think the last, somebody created a digital wire. It wasn't kind of high fidelity wireframe the other time. So I'm going to bring this up. So this is like this is text. So you can see as I'm dragging it, is giving me it's telling me the spaces between these elements. All right. So, and as I'm going to position this, I'm going to position it in, you can see this, even this design we picked from Google. You can see how everything is aligned. If you check it very well, everything is aligned. Even this button, this button you are thinking is not aligned to this welcome. I see they don't start from the same place. They actually started from the same place. Why? Because they gave this button, this back button you're seeing, it probably had an auto layout, and the auto layout had some padding. All right. And this thing was a component, so you can't just remove. If you don't play with components because it will affect the other things. All right. So possibly it had some paddings and it actually aligned, but we are not seeing there was no color to the the frame, it had created, or there's no color to the edges, to the boundaries, like we did for the other type of button we had here. All right, maybe that's why you're not seeing it. So for this, our own text, this our demo text, these lines representing text are not aligned yet. So I'm going to shift it to the side. You can see that I started from the same point. So we are going to leave it here. Okay. And then we have some input field. We have some input field here. So I'm going to use this button. So because it's an auto layout, I'm going to use this button. I'm going to take it up. Because it's an auto layout, I can manipulate it. So if you come to the auto layout settings here, you can see this particular one. You can see alignment patterns here. Okay. So I want this. This is an auto layout. If it were to be just a frame, I would have just moved this straight, picked it and moved to the side here. All right. And I will drop it. If I drop it here, it will go back. Say, leave me. Say, no be frame, no be just normal frame with this. Now auto layout today. If I leave it, it will go back to the center because this is not just a normal frame. This is an auto layout. So I'll click the auto layout and I'll speak the language of auto layout and take it to the side. So you can increase the padding if it's too close. All right. So you can see what's here. Okay. You can see what's here. So you can eventually, because it's not a button, this is actually an input field. So I can reduce the radius to 4. Change the color, alter the color of this, and then the color of the text as well. Okay, so it may not be pure black. Okay, so I'm going to alter the color of the black. The text, and then the input. Enter your password. What's that? Enter your email and enter your password. So I'm going to double click this and write enter. Oh my God, is enter your email. Email. And then the second one is enter your password. I'll just hold my alt. When you drag it down, you are going to see, you can see that the space is 14, like the other ones. All right. So the next one is enter your password, right? So enter your password. So you can see these are input field. All right. So I can just keep that like that, or you can just draw a box. If you draw a box, you didn't commit any crime, okay? Because you are actually creating a wireframe. You're not really creating, um, you're not creating a design. All right. I think I'm even going too extreme, right? Because this is not the real design, okay? So we have two buttons. Okay, we have just a button here. I have just a button here. We have login, and then we have or register with. So I'm going to just bring it down. You can see or register with 2 minutes to 5 already. So I'm going to position this at the center, and then you can just Google and other things. You can just draw them to give the person an idea that platforms are here. All right. So as I'm pressing my alt, you can see that it's snapping and telling me that this is. You can decide to group this, okay, or move to the center. I register with this, this. Okay. So you can see this is what we just have, and then we also have one other text below it. So you can see what we have. So you can create, if you are creating your own wireframe. All right. So the way I've created this, you must not create the input field the way I did it. Okay. You can. We have four input fields here. We have two lines of text. I actually made this three. You can leave it. For the input field, all right, you can just create. You can create. Please try to create the input field the way I created them, or you can create boxes. All right, just create boxes for the input fields, all right. And then for the, if you come to appearance, you add the radius, four radius, and then please you change your color, all right. I'm going to give you this as assignment, so you have to just pay attention. Change the color, make it, when you click the field, just drag it to, let it be close to white, but to not be white, okay, but let it be different from the button so that it doesn't confuse. All right, you can just click, just create uh an empty box this way, okay, so as input fields. If, but try to create this the way I've created it anyways. Okay, we have, I think we have 4 input fields here, so I'm going to, you can, highlight this. I'm going to highlight these ones. To deselect one, just hold your shift and click. So I'm going to drag this down. So as I'm dragging, I want it to go straight. You hold your shift so that it goes straight, okay. So I'm dragging it down so that I'll create another. So I hold my alt, drag down. You can see it's maintaining that 14. Now if I want to, they are taking my pi again. If I want to, it's past 5 already. So if I want to make these 4 shapes auto layout, there's also there's something I can do to it, and it will be made auto layout. So we're going to discuss that later on. So, and you'll be seeing how they'll be behaving. Okay. So if I go too deep, you'll get confused. Okay, you'll get confused. It's getting how will I say, tense or something. It's getting, we are going to it already. Okay. So I want to position this. Let me select this. Can you hear me? Hello? Wow. Can you hear me?
It wasn't very clear at first, like we were disconnecting and everything.
Oh, but you can hear me now, right? Okay. So I'll try to make the video available so that you can, go through it. I believe the video should be, I'm making, the video should be straightforward and clear. All right. So I want to bring this down a little. I'll select this. For you to select, as you are clicking whatever you want to select, hold your shift and you select all of them together. Okay, you can see these lines. I will talk more about that. So I'm going to bring them down, okay, a bit, and I want them to start from the same place by the left. Okay, so would have taken this also up a little so that it will end the same way as the button. So as it reaches there, you will see an indication, around indicating that it has reached that side also. Okay, now for this input field, you can create, please try to create this particular type of input field I created. And I made that from the login. Okay, I made that from the login. So there's a way I just did it. And if you didn't get it, you can watch the video and get it. So this structure, this digital wireframe I've done, is okay. This one here is register, right? So we are going to change this to register. Double click it, and then I'm going to click register, right? Okay, so I'm going to click register. I'm going to type register rather. So this is what we have. So this digital wireframe I've done. First, before you create any product, make a what is it called? A paper wireframe. All right. So we have created a paper wireframe and we have created a digital wireframe before we create a high fidelity wireframe. All right. So um, we may not create something very exactly like this. Well, I just pick this randomly. Okay, we may make it better or create something better or something similar. All right, so there are lots of possibilities to to what we're doing right now. Okay, so we can add, make it just something fascinating, or we can create it the way it is. So you have made the paper wireframe, you have submitted that. So your assignment today is to make this digital wireframe, these three screens. After you're done with that, then we will go to prototype. Then we'll prototype this particular digital wireframe. So I'm going to access your Figma files. All right, I'm going to access your Figma files. I can see that some persons have left the call already. Okay, some persons have left the call already. I have something I need to go and do personally. Personally, I've told you already, I have lots of engagement I would have got to do personally. All right, but I'm here and some have left the call. It's fine. So for those of you that are available, get this assignment done. That's your assignment. All right. So I might give you tomorrow to do that. So we're going to meet on first on Wednesday. On Wednesday. So get this. If you don't know, if you are confused, okay. I think I'm seeing a hand. I don't know whether there's no, I can't see any question here. So all right, please ask your question. If there's a question, please go ahead. Let's be Boki, be fast. Um, let's be fast. So
Actually, I don't have question. I wanted to say let's not make the class program.
let's not make the
We
class
can be
what?
able to
No, Mr.
so
Daniel,
long so that we can be able.
you are not. I didn't give you. Please, before you talk, let me give chance. It's very important that we maintain that order. So somebody raised his hand, and Boki, I don't know why your hand is up. I thought you have a question because we have come to the end of class actually. So I thought you have a question, and that's why I gave you that opportunity to talk. So if you don't have a question, maybe I'll help you lower the hand. Do you have a question? All right. So I think Mr. Emeka was trying to say the class shouldn't be too long so that we don't overly, we don't get too much, something like that. I think that's what he was trying to say. And I agree with you. I agree with you. The class is it's not too long. It's not too long. I think we started about 4. I don't know the exact time we started. But my record here is 47 minutes. That's the record I get. I mean the record I'm making is 47 minutes. So it's not too long. 1 hour is not, in fact, it's not too long at all. Not too long at all. But we just did 3 screen. What about when we are creating a product? Okay. Um, so it depends on what we're able to achieve. So that's why I had to scrap out some of the things I wanted to say. Because if I say everything I need to say, I've told you already, we can do 5 hours on the call. So that's why I'm saying, the things I need to say and the things that will not be too much for you. So practicalize this. As you are going to practicalize it, you might have some issues here and there. Okay. Then you go over, watch the video over and over again. So if you're able to solve it, maybe when we meet next time, we can trash that out together. So do these assignments on your Figma file. On Tuesday, the time we are supposed to meet, so sorry, on Monday, when we are supposed to meet, you should, by that time, you should have finished. That's tomorrow, actually. So you can do that maybe tonight or from now or something. Okay. I really can't guarantee whether I'll be able to upload this video for you today, maybe tomorrow morning or something. Okay. Mr. Mega, your hand is up.
Can I talk?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's actually the assignment. Let me let me get it clear what we should do.
What you have to do is what I've created here, create it. This particular image that we use, let me go back to Figma. This particular image we use, this image we use has already been sent. It's on. Please, Christabel, tag it in the group. Tag it in the group. And I also promise that we're going to pick a class rep today. I promise that. So maybe we're going to do that shortly because I really would need somebody that will do that on my, pass the information that I need to pass on my behalf. All right. So let me stop the record.